Welcome to the Android Headline Show, episode number 19. Today on our show, we have some new Samsung device rumors, some Ingress talk, new LG Full HD device, Nexus 4, ASUS 7, and as well, a giveaway to tell you all about. So without further ado, let's get on to the show. It's time to get your droid on. As you know, here are my special guests today on the show, or my weekly guests, my co-hosts. First, sitting to my left is Alex, the great Maxham, coming to you from Detroit Rock City, 8 Mile. How's it going, Alex? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good.
Awesome. Now, I'm over to my far right, and we have Tom, the Duke Dawson, coming to you from Buckingham Palace in the United Kingdom. He's over at the Queen's Place reporting to you on site in case Her Royal Majesty breaks any news regarding Android. How you doing, Tom?
Not too bad, not too bad.
Good stuff. And then, finally, without ado, we have Christina the Diva Gardner from the Cheesehead State, Badger State, Wisconsin. Is that it? Badger State?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
At Cheesehead State, right?
Yes.
Home of the Cheeseheads.
Yes.
Yes.
Home of the Packers.
Home of the Packers. Are you a Packer fan?
I'm a semi-Packer fan.
Oh. Uh-oh. All right. Thanks for joining us this week, Christina.
You're welcome.
And so in the past, you know, we didn't have a show last week. You know, we had a little bit of turkey hangover. So from the long weekend in the North America here, Tom had too much tea over in the UK, so he wasn't able to join us.
That's all we do, is we drink copious amounts of tea all the time.
Tea and biscuits, crumpets, all that kind of good stuff. And none of us were able to, you know, we had hangovers from too much turkey here in North America, so we just decided, screw the show, we're not doing it. But this week, we have lots of great stuff to talk about. We're already starting to see some CES rumors, which is fabulous. You know, we've been talking, you know, the past couple of months about Droid DNA and Xperia T and Nexus 4 and Nexus 10s. Those are old news now. Now we're on to the new devices that are already being rumored that are going to be showing up next month. That's how fast Android moves, so quick. Within a month, the stuff is outdated. So we're on to some new rumors. This one coming by the way of Samsung. And I'm going to turn it over to the Duke to fill you in on all the details. And have at it, Duke. What is the story? What's going on with Samsung?
Well, there are some fresh rumors out of Korea. It's a three-part rumor that Samsung are bringing some new and interesting devices our way, and some of them could well break out at CES come January next year. And the main bulk of it surrounds Project J, which is apparently Samsung's internal name for the Galaxy S4, the next in the Galaxy S line, and that was all that was revealed by the tipster. That's the only information the tipster had. But
does it not have some spec details in there, Tom?
No, the tipster didn't actually have any other details apart from the internal name. But we've already heard quite a number of times that it could be coming with a 5-inch Full HD Super AMOLED, and it's going to more than likely come packing with a quad-core Exynos that's running on Cortex A15. Because after all, they're
powerful.
Yeah, and they're lagging behind when it comes to a lot of phones are packing the Snapdragon S4 Pro. So Samsung, I don't think you'll see Samsung use Cortex A9 in 2013.
Definitely not. That A15 is something they've been working on for years. it just rock solid. They have the dual-core A15 in the Nexus 10, and it's fast as lightning. I can't imagine what that quad-core will have. What else? What else did they have to say, Tom?
Well, there's another rumor surrounding the Galaxy Note 2, and that Samsung could be releasing a sort of basic cut-down version.
You mean
of
a
the
Note
Note 2? Yeah, like
Okay.
a cut down, like a basic Note 2. That's basically just going to be like it's going to be everything the Galaxy Note 2 was, but maybe not so quick with a a lower clock, maybe only a dual core, and it's not going to come with the S Pen at all.
So we're looking at basically like a phablet, like all the other devices, just maybe not as higher spec, a little lower price wise, possibly.
Yeah, and I think if Samsung were going to do something like this, I don't know whether or not it'll be that basic or not. I think maybe that might be Samsung's product to compete with the Droid DNA, size-wise, and maybe if they threw a full HD screen in there or something like that. But then again, who knows what they're going to do? But if they were going to water down the Galaxy Note 2, I'm not sure why they would. But
maybe this will be a rebranding or something, and they're going to focus more with a less of the stylus. Version, because people love the big screens. As I said, some people don't use the stylus, and that can just happen. People don't always use the stylus. Anyways, let's not go there. What else is in this rumor? There's a chock full. There's something else about tablets. What's going on there?
Yeah, there's word that Samsung are preparing a 13.3-inch sized tablet to come with a keyboard dock to compete with the ASUS Transformer line, the old ePad Transformer line,
and Microsoft Surface, right?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, is that the tipster couldn't confirm what operating system was running on it, which could lead to some interpretation that it could be Windows 8 on there. But they've already announced plans with their TEEV lineup, and they've already had their a TEEV transforming tablet announced. So it's more than likely that it'll be Android. But 13.3 inches,
it's going to be massive. It's going to be huge. They're going to have to make that thing very light in order to sell it. But it kind of makes sense, because you have the 7-inch market now all tidied up. Price, the Nexus 7 is dominating in that area. So you don't really want to go and compete with already such a great product and a low price point. There's no room for competition against the Nexus 7 in there. And the 8 and the 10 is there's tons of offerings already. The Nexus 10 as well, which Samsung did build. So the next logical is to go up to the 13. Now Toshiba has a 13-inch, but they didn't really well market it or mass produce it too well.
It was ridiculously expensive as well.
Yeah, and so it kind of makes sense for Samsung to be the first to market with a 13-inch tablet. We'll see how that does. People might say that's too big. Of course, they said that about the Note 2, but we all know how that worked out, and this thing's selling millions, right? For the Note. So, if they are going to be first to market with a large tablet, and if there's a great market for it, people are responsive, at least they're going to be the first one to get in there. And, Apple will probably sue them after, because they'll come up with a 13-inch tablet and say they stole it, but that's another thing. So, when are we looking at, is now Samsung's going to do some rebranding, you said in this article, come January at the CES. Do you think, from everything, Samsung usually does their own device launch? Is there chances we're going to see this at CES, or is this down the pipeline in say March or April?
I'm not sure. I think when the Galaxy S4 is concerned, I don't think we'll see anything of that until March, sort of late March time. But the tablet stuff. And even maybe an addition to the Galaxy Note line, which is traditionally not flowed with the Galaxy S line, like they've announced those separately. They may well bring something like that to CES, especially if other people are bringing tablets as well. They're not going to be left out.
Very good point, because there's no way that Samsung is going to, obviously in a March and or April is going to be their new Galaxy 4 launch. They are not going to be pushing out any other phones at that time. That thing is going to be a GS4 strictly launch. They could throw a tablet in with it, but we'll see. There's also as well Mobile World Conference as well, and CTIA that they can launch these devices at. So they have lots of time to launch all of these devices, and maybe it's best that they do kind of launch them individually to give them the proper attention for each device and marketing instead of just kind of throwing them all out all at once. So definitely some interesting products coming up from Samsung in the next year. We'll definitely be watching the coverage on this. We'll be talking tons about this in the future. So let's move on over to Detroit with Alex here. Hi, Alex. You all ready here? We got some Ingress news. And for those of you at home who don't know what Ingress is, it's blowing up. It's crazy. It's mad.
Best game ever.
There you go. You just heard it. People are selling their unborn children for it, mortgaging their homes, leaving the stove unattended, going nuts, willing to do sexual favors for invites. Anything that they can do. Invites are hard to come by, but people are going crazy for this game. And last time we had a little chat about it. None of us were too educated at that point about it. It's so hard to get an invite, we couldn't even get one. Now we're all fully locked up, most of us, except for a couple of us here. But 2 out of 4 ain't bad, got invites. And we'll send it over to Alex. First of all, Alex, what is Ingress? Tell us what it is.
It's Google's new augmented reality game. It's based on your location. There are a lot of portals like around where you live. They're mostly historical sites.
What is
it? They're like historical sites, like
7-Eleven.
No, that doesn't count.
What's historical?
Like fire stations,
Okay.
post offices.
Statues.
Yeah, statues. You can create new portals, but it takes like 4 to 6 weeks to be created.
So So you have so give us a guide on how one would go about playing Ingress. Just the quick. Don't have to go super detailed. I signed up for the game. I'm in the game. What do I got to do?
Well, you join the resistance first.
Well, there's different sides. What's the deal?
There's a resistance side, and then there's an enlightenment side. And the ones on the enlightenment are followers that believe the shapers will bring enlightenment to humankind, and the resistance is resisting them, basically.
Okay. And
Enlightenment is evil.
okay.
Yeah.
So now I've picked my side. What do I do next?
You can go over to ingress.com/intel, and you can log in with your Google account. And it'll show your area with different portals and where exactly it is before you leave your house.
So
the app doesn't show that broad of an area.
Okay.
It only shows a few blocks.
So I locate a portal. I'm over there. I'm at the portal. What am I doing next?
Well, when you have your app open or the game open, you just tap on the portal and it'll open up like a submenu, and you'll have all kinds of options. What most people do first is hack the portal. You can get different resonators, portal keys, and a bunch of other different things.
Wow.
They can get some XMPs too.
Okay. And so what's the point of it when I'm there? What am I supposed to do when I'm at this portal? You say there's all these options. What do these options do in terms of the game? Do they make it like stronger? Makes me hold it down or something like that?
You can recharge the resonators which are around the portal. You can also put shields onto the portal. You can upgrade the resonators so they're stronger, depending on what level you are.
So basically,
if you're like level 2, you can't go above level 2 resonators.
So basically, I'm defending this portal through all the little actions that I do, right?
Unless it's the other team's portal. Then you're trying to take it away.
All right. try to take over control of it. Now, and
Yep.
you can link up with other players in the area. How do you do that?
On Google Plus, there are a lot of different pages for different areas of the U.S. There's some outside the U.S. too, both for resistance and enlightenment. So if you search for, like, for me it's Detroit. There are a bunch of different ones. There are also ones for Michigan and larger areas.
So
They
big.
can-
So for larger areas, there's something on Google Plus where they can hook
Yeah,
up with other players. And what's the point of hooking up with other players? What's the benefit to it?
talk strategies. You can organize a meetup. Like, we had one downtown Detroit on Saturday that I wasn't able to go to, but they took over all the enlightenment portals.
So you guys kind of all group together and go over to certain areas and
Yeah.
cream the shit out of the other team and resistance and take it over, and then they lose control, and the only way that they can gain it back is by a whack load of those guys coming back to that portal. Is that right?
Pretty much.
Okay. So in terms of the game now, the invites are super hard to come by. They're kind of trickling out. They're Nintac Labs or whatever they're called, however you pronounce it. They're kind of giving these out slowly. What's the deal with that?
Well, from playing the game, there's quite a few bugs still in the game and in the app. The app's been updated a few times. But I know the servers went down, I think the day after I got my invite, like the day after Thanksgiving. So it's not ready to be rolled out throughout the whole world yet.
Okay. So there's a rumor on when we're supposed to see more devices rolling out, or
The last
not
thing I
that
saw,
device, but the app, North America wide.
the last one I saw was for December 1st, which is come and gone unless they mean next year. But the actual Niantic Labs people, they haven't said anything about when it'll be open for everyone. So
All right. Well,
might be a while.
Alex has a very comprehensive, detailed beginner's guide to Ingress on our website, and if you look at our special features when you log into our site, and it breaks down everything from getting started, resistance or the enlightened, finding portals, submitting new portals, linking up with players, and a few other tips and links to send you to get you on your way. You're going to see a lot more content, information coming from us here at Android Headlines for all of your Ingress needs. We're going to be covering stuff, high and low. We're going to unturn, every rock in every city, every portal. We're going to rock it out, right? So if you guys just want to, check out our site regularly, you can, hook up for all the latest news on Ingress. Check in with us then, and we'll be covering all kinds of stuff. Now we're going to head off to, looks like we have a special guest has joined us. I'm not sure if he's alive and can hear us well. Doug, one of our writers. Doug, how you doing, Doug?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good. Thanks for joining us, buddy.
Good to be invited. I'm just figuring out my webcam here. Bear with me.
Yeah, don't mind Doug while he gets set up. This is kind of like his rookie time. He's what we call a greenhorn to the show. First time ever being on the show, so we'll see how it goes, and we'll try not to make fun of him too much in the process.
Webcams are super complicated.
Yes, they are. What a crazy technology those things are. All right, and while Doug is playing with his webcam there, seems to be having a lot of trouble. Let's head over to Tom, or actually no, let's head over to Christina, the diva. The diva here, she's going to tell us all about a new story that kind of just recently broke about LG and their new phone that's potentially to be coming out in the next, CES or so on. So if you could give us a little more, what's the story on this, Christina?
Well, it would look like LG is taking the path to start incorporating their HD 1080p devices, and currently right now, they were the first to launch. I'm sure everybody knows about the HTC Droid DNA, but most recently they have this codename device called F24K0K that was discovered.
That's some secretive shit, FBI, CIA stuff there.
It's supposed to be the successor to the LG Optimus G, which is in carrier testing. And that's pretty much all there is to it.
Was there any specs in regards to this, or is it just more or less kind of telling us that, we're going to see a 5-inch display, 1080p, HD, something like that?
It would look like maybe there's supposed to be a quad-core S4 Pro. Is that what I'm reading? Yeah. Pretty much just the display so far that's in here.
Yeah, well, that kind of sounds like it's not much more spec higher than the Optimus G. They're gonna have to put out something a little bit better processor-wise. Otherwise, the only thing really to add on there is the 1080p HD full screen. Other than that, it kind of sounds like an Optimus G, and which just recently kind of came to North America, so it's kind of funny they're talking about this already. But LG is one of those type of companies that will release it in Korea, 6 months before it ever sees its way to North America, and then we get something in the fall usually, and we'll probably see this at CES. They're usually first to get it. Korea will have it a month later. We'll have it 10 months later. That's usually how it works.
They threw in there too that Samsung's also going to be releasing an HD 1080p. So
I think realistically, everyone, that's going to be the new selling point for this year.
Yeah, they've been talking about Sony releasing a couple. One that's just for, I think, Japan, and then one for the rest of the world.
And I think everyone's got a 1080p coming up. I mean, HTC's got theirs already. You can guarantee that all of their phones. Samsung's got their new flexible 1080p device potentially coming out. I'm not sure about this flexible display stuff. It sounds pretty neat. How they use it and how the phones look and how we're able to use them, that'll be interesting to see. Definitely something that, a little bit off topic, but something that could be interesting in the tablet game is some flexible, displays. And
folding tablet.
Exactly. I want to put it. I want to put that 13-inch tablet into my back pocket. I'm gonna fold it into like 4s and then throw it in my back pocket, and I want it the size of my wallet.
What about you envisage not just folding in half like anyone else would? You want to fold it in half and then half again. I mean,
exactly.
Well, like that thick.
Okay, well, if you fold a 13-inch tablet in half, that's like 6.5 inches. That's going to be too big to go in my back pocket. I need them to fold in half and then half again, right?
No.
No.
Think about it.
Otherwise,
it'll be like this thick.
It'll be 6 inches in my back pocket.
Yeah, but if you fold it 4 times, it'll be like this thick. And
yeah, but depending on how thick his wallet is.
Thin though. Okay, maybe I'm gonna need a man purse then for this thing.
Oh, I want to see pictures.
A merce.
A merce. Here we go. A merce. All right. So, not too many details on that, but it looks like everyone's getting into the HD game for next year, so you're gonna see a lot of that. Let's go on to our next story here, and I'm gonna send it back over to Alex because me and Alex were covering the pre-order. What should I call it? The Nexus 4 fiasco. We're gonna say they're up for sale again, but we're technically doing pre-orders event that took place last Tuesday, and me and Alex were. He was covering the story, and I was trying to order some phones like the millions of other people out there, and it was fucking impossible. The servers wouldn't let you through. It kept going sold out. Wouldn't let you check out. People were going crazy. People were going nuts. They were tripping out. I know it's just a phone, okay, and there's no need for people to get super mad. But if you're going to put a phone up for sale and say it's up for sale, at least allow people to check out with it, right, normally. But obviously, you know, the overwhelming demand crashed the Google servers. You know, Google didn't really have, you know, any great servers or anything like that, so they weren't really prepared for that type of a sale. You know, they're not in the web game or anything like that, so they had no idea that they would have that. What was that, Doug?
What would Google know about the internet? Of course they're surprised. People are trying to visit our website? What?
Exactly. I mean, you know, they've only been selling devices for a couple of years, really, through their website as well. You know, it's kind of like, you know, a new thing for them. So,
yeah,
anyways,
I mean, they only process around 24 petabytes of data a day. I mean, it's nothing new, really.
Yeah. So
I think you got that driverless car, so that's cool.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and to be honest with you, you know, I mean, they probably had maybe a Pentium 4 server or something, you know, handling all of the orders, you know, on maybe a 56K dial-up or something line. So, you know, we can't fault them. It certainly did look that way. And you know what? Who knows? Maybe we can't give them too much shit. Maybe, you know, the numbers didn't come out. Maybe there were billions of people ordering it. Billions of people.
About 7 on the earth, and 2 billion of them bought.
Yes, 2 billion bought Nexus 4s, and this is, you know, stuff like that could happen. That's how they could have downed it. So, no, in all fairness, it probably was super popular. They didn't expect it, and you got to remember, there's a whole bunch of tech geeks here, and you know what's happening is all these guys are all hitting F5 refresh, totally trying to crash it. It was worse than you know, who are those guys, Anonymous or whatever the hell they are, those hacker guys. It was worse than those guys trying to bring down the site. So I'm sure they probably weren't prepared for it. Either way, there were some sales that were made. What were the shipping dates on these, Alex? What were we seeing at first?
Well, when it first came out, the 16 gigabyte I think was 3 to 4 weeks, and the 8 gigabyte was at 4 to 5. And like 4 or 5 days later, the 8 gigabyte went to 9 to 10 week shipping estimate, and eventually sold out or out of stock.
Wow! Oh my god.
16 is back down to 4 to 5 weeks, I think, right now.
That's nice. It was at 6 to 7 on the weekend, so
yeah,
they must have rolled out a couple of extra shifts at the old factory to pop out a couple more.
Oh, it's at 5 to 6 right now.
Okay, which is, you know, it's not too bad. Is, you know, you kind of wish that this was done maybe at the time of launch instead of people, you know, ordering here, you know, in December instead. Because, you know, it would have made for better, and a lot of people would have had their phones. But nevertheless, the sales must be going pretty good. A lot of you probably won't see your Nexus 4s till Christmas or the New Year, unfortunately.
Oh, that's a horrible Christmas present.
Hey, if you get it for Christmas, that's an awesome Christmas present. If you don't get it till after, it's going to make for a good New Year, right? What a better way to start off your New Year with a new Nexus 4. You know, we can't always be giving them a hard time. You know, just gotta, you know, it is what it is. They're gonna come when they come. We can't make them build the phones any faster.
But if you were to get one for Christmas, and you could just sell it, and then that really would be the best Christmas.
You could probably sell it for double.
You can probably sell it for double, and by the time they catch up with the orders, they'll probably be able to ship you one like in 3 days. After that, you could probably buy 2 then, right? No. But actually, a funny fact is that eBay is actually limiting the sales on this.
Yeah, they've got some high demand restrictions in place, which don't seem that high because you can still list like 4.
You know, I used to sell some stuff on eBay once upon a time ago. And I've never seen anything about restrictions, on how many you can put up for sale and, and checking out, if you're a qualified buyer of them. It's like eBay and Google and LG are in cahoots here. You would just think if you got them, sell them, who cares? If you got 100 of them, sell them off. What's the problem?
Yeah, I think LG put a phone call into eBay. Look, we can't make them fast enough. Just stop people selling.
Slow them down. That'll keep the craze going.
Yeah.
Doug, did you order one, Doug?
No, I really want to stick with an LTE phone. So my fingers are crossed for an LTE version maybe second quarter of next year, although probably not.
Well, how about you just enable that hidden chip in there and make it work?
Yeah, but I'd have to live in Canada, and it's not worth it.
I'm sure it won't be long before some hackers got that thing enabled off of some special ROM or something like that.
If it's a ROM, if it's software, I'll do it. But if I have to break out the soldering iron, that's a little past my expertise.
Oh, come on! Nothing more funner than soldering up your cell phone on a nice evening.
They have guides for that.
Nothing like that solid bleeding plastic.
So yeah, I mean, what happens if you just miss a little bit? Oh, you ruin the phone. No big deal, right?
Yeah, I'll just buy a dozen of them.
Exactly, for testing purposes, and we can put the videos all on YouTube. And it only took us 5 phones to make this work.
Maybe you guys sponsor that, and I'll think about it.
All right, good stuff. You bring the soldering gun. I'll send the Nexus 4s. Does it sound like a deal?
Deal.
All right. Okay, let's move on to our next story, guys. Our next story there is, let's go back to Alex on this, put Alex on the spot. This is the Alex show because it so happens that Alex wrote all the best stories last week and left none for anyone else. He just happened to put them all, written all the good stuff.
Nobody was around.
It just worked out that way. Sometimes we do shows and Alex doesn't even talk because he didn't even write anything good.
Alex is Superman this week.
But this week he's Super Alex. And we go back to him for something we had talked about before. And that was this ASUS preparing a cheap 7-inch tablet, Jelly Bean, for CES. I thought we already had a cheap ASUS tablet called the Nexus 7. What's up with this one? What's up? What's the story, Alex?
Supposed to be a cheaper tablet from ASUS.
Oh, so it's supposed to be less than the Nexus 7.
Yeah.
In other words.
Are they getting these from a cheap Chinese knockoff or something?
Probably.
Okay.
The specs don't look all that good compared to the Nexus 7. It's got the same 7-inch display, but the resolution is down to 1024 by 600.
That is perfect for my grandmother. Okay. Sorry to interrupt you there, Alex.
And
what kind of pro? It's got some WN8950 processor, which is like.
What the hell is that?
I know.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's a VIA processor. It's like we're talking about really low end.
Is it really made by VIA? Is it made by VIA?
That's what a quick Google search brings up for us.
Oh, that's gonna be fantastic.
But it's they're trying to compete with that India $20 tablet, and and this is the American version of the $20 tablet. So we could put a tablet in the hands of every child and woman and person on the face of North America, and at $99, that'll do it. But
I'm pretty sure the child tablets are better than that.
Okay, let's not knock it. I mean, this is just rumored at this point. It could be better. What else has it got? It's got a Mali 400 GPU, right? That's not terrible.
It's got 1 gigabyte of RAM and 8 gigs of internal storage, but it does have a micro SD card slot, unlike the Nexus 7.
That sounds bonus. And a whopping 1 megapixel front-facing camera, just so you can take those awesome pixelated pictures of people, right? You can't even fucking Skype on that shit. All you see is a fucking blob of a color wheel. Anyways.
Oh, Asus.
It looks pretty though, does it not? Or is it just me?
That's just a mock-up, Christine.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
Okay.
It looks
That's
pretty.
that's the
Yeah, that's not even a mock-up. That's the back of one of the Transformer tablets.
That's the
Just like
TF700 Transformer Infinity with a 1900 by 1200 resolution.
1080p.
So I mean, there's talk of that 99 Google Nexus tablet. We heard it last year, and I just, I have a hard time with these specs because it's like, will Google really put their name on something like this, or is this just going to be an ASUS sold in India or at 7-Eleven type of,
I don't think it's gonna be a Nexus because according to the benchmarks, it's running like Android 4.1.1.
Okay.
So the Nexus, that's pretty far behind.
So this is ASUS's way of selling tablets in China for dirt cheap and putting those guys who make knockoff tablets out of business. I think that would assume because they got the same specs as them.
Oh, yeah, I mean, they've got a massive brand as well. I mean, who are you going to give $99 to? ePad Limited or Asus? It's not.
That was my thoughts too.
It's not exactly a difficult decision.
It's
like,
brand recognition.
Yeah, I mean, you give $99 to the man on the corner, or you go to a store and you buy one from Asus.
Well, I don't know. I want one of those $99 tablets running Honeycomb. That's what I want for Christmas. Those things are great.
You don't want. I have used Honeycomb on 7 inches, and believe me, it bites ass. It's terrible. I mean,
dude, I had to test so many Honeycomb tablets. They made me puke. They all look the same. They're shitty software. That was embarrassing for Android. Yes, their first stuff, but anyways, that was pretty sad. So also wanted to throw out there, it'll be great to see a $99 tablet. It will sell well. Asus usually does pretty quality stuff, so I think we're going to be pretty surprised. I don't think these initial specs are going to be something that are going to be finalized. I think these are just probably rumored specs. I think by the time this thing probably hits production, you could probably get a Tegra 3 chip for next to nothing. Because they're not selling so well in the devices. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of last year components you'll be able to drop into this thing for dirt cheap. And we all know that, Tegra and Asus, NVIDIA, they have a really tight relationship. So I wouldn't doubt to see it, that we, maybe even a Tegra 2 and put it down to $25, right?
Although, you think of the things you could do with a $99 tablet. I mean, if it was half decent,
It's disposable. It's a disposable one. I can pick up a tablet and throw it away when I'm done at that price.
Yeah, I mean, you could throw it in the car. You could have it in the car for the kids. You wouldn't care if they dropped it out the window. You could do so many things with a $99 Android tablet. You could
ride a bike and have it mounted there, or whatever, right?
Hey, that's cool.
And then people would think you're like, really cool for having, like $300 worth of stuff that you're just putting out there at grave risk. But really, it's next to nothing.
Well,
street cred to the max.
I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more about this. Even Google was supposedly getting in on this mix, but right now it's Asus. So hopefully we'll see something coming up a little more firm with some better specs on it. And just wanted to hit one more thing. I didn't throw this at, but I'm going to throw Tom on the spot. Tom, you want to pull up our Android top 10 power rankings for the tablets, and just give everyone just a quick rundown. We won't get too detailed on specs or nothing, but if we can just give a quick rundown on what were the top 10 tablets for the month of November.
Honestly, this is such a poorly prepared show.
This is what happens in your improv,
Oh yeah, we keep it fresh,
Keep it fresh, keep you on your toes.
On the fly.
That's right. You got that there, buddy. You got the internet over there. You can pull that page up.
Look, I want an HP touchpad. Leave me alone.
Oh, gee, don't admit that anymore. Please, enough with the HP touchpad.
I love this thing. It's amazing.
He does. He loves it. You can't knock it.
He can't stop talking about it.
I love it. It's great. It should. First of all, I just gotta know it's a bit of a strange time because like everyone's bringing out new phones and stuff, but there's been very little on the tablet front aside from the Nexus 10 that's recently gone on sale and off sale and on sale, and you can't have it on sale sort of thing. But you can still buy the Nexus 7 everywhere. So, so yeah. Anyway, moving on. Number 10, we have Samsung's Galaxy Tab 7.02, which is basically just a 7-inch Galaxy Tab. At number 9, we have ASUS Iconia Tab A700.
I don't know how that thing makes it on the list. You know, that's just shame. It's a sad state of Android tablets that thing's still on the list.
Well, the A700 actually has something going for it, and it's got the same Tegra 3 most of these have, but it's also got a 1900 by 1200 IPS display. But it's built by Acer, made out of plastic.
Yes.
Weighs a ton. And
I think that $99 tablet will be built better.
Yeah, I was about to say it'll probably fall apart when you try and watch a full.
What's number 8, Tom?
At 8, we have ASUS's Transformer Pad TF300.
Still on the list. Amazing.
Well, it's a Tegra 3 packing colourful, all-round fun thing.
Fun thing.
Yeah.
All right, fun tablet. All right, what's number 7, Tom?
It's Samsung's Galaxy Tab 10.1.2.
You know, we've beat up on that thing a little bit here because there's been some mixed reviews on it. But people who work with graphics or a lot with stylus, they love this thing and they swear by it. They will kill you if you say anything bad about it.
Oh no, the Note 10.1's further down. This is just.
You're talking about the Note.
It's just Samsung can't afford to make 2 different shells. You see, that's where
I got mixed up. Never mind. Sorry, I was ahead of myself. Okay,
no, but
next Tom, the Flip tablet. Next.
The number 6 is Sony's Xperia Tablet S, which is unique because it's a 9.4-inch size tablet, so it could be a good compromise. But
this is the same tablet that was recalled because it wasn't waterproof.
Well, there was an issue between through manufacturing, a company in China were making it for Sony, and the screen and the body wasn't meeting properly, so it was vulnerable to water damage. But they fixed that now, and it should be it's on sale in the UK,
and Tom is having a really hard think about this.
He is frozen in time.
Okay, Tom, let's move on to number 5. Number 5 tablet, please, sir.
Can you people hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, good, because I could hear everything you're saying. So, and number 5.
Think too much bad about you.
And number 5, we have ASUS's Transformer Pad TF700. And then in number 4, we have Samsung's Galaxy Note 10.1.
Woohoo!
Which is basically a Tab 10.1.
How did I know he was going to do that? I just
with a stylus. And number 3, we have the Amazon Kindle Fire HD, which is a strange place to put it, but for price alone, it's extremely good value for money, especially if all you want to do on a tablet is play poor quality games, read books, and watch movies.
And you know what the best thing is about an Amazon Kindle Fire tablet? It gets trillions of people starting to use Android, and once they become addicted, then they go and buy a real Android tablet afterwards, right? They
upgrade to something proper and normal.
Yeah, but this sometimes people need, a little push, a little start, and, and a Kindle Fire will get them started, especially the little kids. Get the Android embedded in them early. Make their purchasing decisions smart.
Yeah.
They don't buy Apple products in the future.
Hey, Timmy, here's a Kindle Fire.
Exactly. What's next, Rudy?
And number 2 is Google's Nexus 7, which is far and away superior to the Kindle Fire, and surprisingly, you can actually buy one.
Awesome.
Including
I love it when you
the
can
3G
do that.
version, although I think that's sold out. But. And at number 1, we unsurprisingly have Google's Nexus 10, which is fantastic, quite frankly.
It's fantastic. It's just great.
It's packing the Samsung's Exynos 5250, and it has the highest resolution on any tablet out there, and including the iPad's Retina display, which doesn't look so Retina now, right?
Hmm?
So who's buying it? Who's buying me that for Christmas? Come on.
Doug.
Tom.
Doug's getting
Watch
for
it,
you.
they're both for me.
Yeah, we'll all buy you one.
You
We'll
can
all buy you one.
Right!
send it to her
Because-
via Amazon.
Yeah, we'll all buy you one. We'll all place an order on Amazon.
I can tell you her address now is 2245 Smith Street in Jonesville, Wisconsin 913777. Now, for all of you people at home, you can drop by her place at that address as well too. Drop off your gifts there.
I'm sure you
Anytime.
broke some kind of
Stop by anytime.
data law or something there.
Okay, and for you stalkers at home, that was not her correct address.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was close. That
Good
wasn't
try though.
It was close though. It's a couple blocks over from it though.
Get
it's
Google
all right.
Latitude
There's no
out and you'll be
people
fine.
on the internet.
Yeah, we know how it is. We just want to keep things exciting for Christina. Keep her on her toes. Keep her eyes
You
sharp.
know, it's already bad enough I gotta inspect my requests.
All right, guys. One other little quick note I want to throw out. Galaxy Note, they're talking about throwing out a 7-inch, small little 7-inch Galaxy Note. I mean, why not just buy the Galaxy Tab? But I guess you'll be able to make phone calls on this. And if you wear big jeans, you'll be able to throw it in your pocket. It'll use the same Exynos 4412 chipset. There's some hope that a Cortex A15 will go in there, but I kind of doubt that. That might be an A9. It's going to be kind of a lower-end device, but you never know. It showed up on the benchmarks. It's a model GTN 5100, and the news is a little bit early on there. It's going to come with an S Pen 7-inch device, so it's basically a Note 7.1, whatever the hell you want to call it. But we're in right now with some early rumors on that. That just kind of broke today. So as we see some more info, we'll definitely get to you on that. And finally, I just wanted to let all of the new viewers at home know, Doug has decided to give away a Nexus 4 on our site. That's right. Doug is giving away a Nexus 4. If you visit
All
our
right.
Doug's
Very
generous.
generous.
Doug is super generous like that. He's bling bling hooking everybody up. And so we're giving away a Nexus 4. All you have to do to enter to win, go to our page on our website. On the right-hand side, there's a little banner where you can drop in your entry, get in there, and there's different ways to get more entries through social media. So you can get yourself a Nexus 4 because they're sold out. You won't even be able to get one till June anyways. So you might as well enter our contest, and we'll get you one out. There's 58 days left for the contest, so you need to rush out right now because otherwise you're going to miss out on it. And
Thanks, Google.
sign up for the contest, and you could win yourself a nice Nexus 4. So I'd like to thank all my guests. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Christina. Thank you, Doug, showing up late, but showing up nevertheless.
Next time I'll get here before we talk about Ingress.
Yeah, well, did you want to throw a couple of comments in? So, what's been going on with you in Ingress? I know you hooked up with some of the people out in Chicago, hooked up with your posse out there,
Yes.
and you did some gangbanging down there. What happened?
We are mighty organized on the resistance side here in Chicago. So last weekend we went downtown and we probably spent about 3 or 4 hours just walking around. And we were having a lot of fun, but I couldn't help but think about what we looked like to other people there were 10 or 11 of us just walking along, and then we would all just stop at the exact same time without talking to each other and stare at our phones, and then we would all start walking.
You look like Aishi. You look like Aishi. That's what they do.
I'm sure it freaked people out, but we had a great time. It was insanely cold, but we fought through it.
Awesome. Sounds like you guys had a really good time. How are you enjoying the game overall? So you've been playing it. He's been the first guy that's on our site and kind of team that's really dug in deep with it. So how are you enjoying your time with Ingress?
Honestly, I am surprised at how something that requires so much effort can be so addictive. Like, it makes sense that Angry Birds is addictive, because Angry Birds, you're just flicking your finger back and forth. So sure, it can be addictive. You don't have to move. But I have been all over Chicago, and I've learned more. I've been here in Chicago for 9 months. I've learned more about my neighborhood in the last 3 weeks playing the game than in the previous 8.5 months combined, by far. I found all these cool little landmarks. I found a giant statue of Confucius over in Chinatown that doesn't seem, it's on like a residential street, clearly doesn't belong there, but it's awesome. Chicago's a cool city, and I've gotten to see a lot of it just because of this game, but I'm having a great time. Just hit level 5. That was good.
So this is definitely not a game for someone who doesn't like to go outside.
Right.
I will go outside. I told Alex when I first got my invite, I was literally out in the middle of the cornfield at like 10 o'clock at night doing my training.
How many portals were out in your cornfield?
None, but I was doing my training, so they had to pretend one.
All right. Now, you have any tips or tricks you want to share with some people at home, Doug? I know you've been playing for a little while, so you want to throw out a quick one or two. You're going to be having some more posts coming up later tonight. He's got some stuff coming out, but I want to give him a little teaser.
Yeah, I would say one thing I didn't put in the article that I wish I had was when you go and you take out an enemy portal, go ahead and if you can, put all 8 resonators in. Because even if that's a low-level resonator, a higher-level resonator will still be able to connect to that one, but only if all 8 resonator spots are filled. So leaving them incomplete just means you're going to have to come back later. That would be my advice.
Thanks for the tip. We got Doug and Alex going hardcore here on Ingress, so you guys are going to see a lot more content on that. Tom here, he's
me.
Well, I live in the middle of nowhere.
In the cornfield.
I'm working on getting portals submitted. I've been working hard over the weekend.
All right, good job. Well, then next week we'll look to hear some input from you. And Tom, well, he's just going to have to read all the stories and drool and hope for it.
Look, I live in a very tiny village in England. What hope have I got?
Little English village farmer here, Tom.
Well, you know.
All right, guys. I'd like to thank all of you for joining us, those at home for tuning in. Thank you very much. And for the meantime and in between time, that's it for the Android Headline Show. Thank you all, and we'll see you next week. Ciao now.